Well, good afternoon to you, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana weather. What an absolutely gorgeous day this is turning out to be across Southern Indiana. A few snow showers we had overnight tonight kind of skirted some of our northern counties. Those are now well off to the east, and they're gone from our picture. And if we sort of zoom in a little bit, we've already made it into the 50s here in southwest Indiana. And for you folks up in where the heavier snowpack was, even the upper 30s and low 40s, that's sure a lot better than what we've had. Now, unfortunately, don't get used to it because we've got another system moving in that's going to prevent this from sticking around. In fact, if we just zoom out here and we'll take off the data, you can see another little clipper system moving down our way here, and this little clipper system is going to dive down over us tonight. It's going to be a fairly fast moving system, but it'll pack a punch, and by punch I mean not necessarily snow, I mean an Arctic blast of cold air. We're going to go from temperatures in the 50s now to an overnight low by the time you get up in the morning of the low teens. So we're talking some brutally cold air with this, all right? Today's video is being sponsored again by High Voltage Mobile DJ Services. You can contact Nathan at 630-9465, or you can visit him on the web at djhighvoltage.com, and they have a lot of great things that you can do for them. If you take a look on their pictures page, you can get an idea of the setup they have, and they've got some really cool light shows and all kinds of other things. You can also click on contact button over here too, and you can find the cell phone number and everything that you need right there to be able to contact them. Alrighty, folks, we've got a little bit of snow on our way tonight, but nothing that's going to be overly impressive to write home about, okay? Let me move this down here where I can put this into motion for you. We're looking at our high resolution rapid refresh. This is our 3-kilometer model, our highest resolution model we have, and so you can see it stays pretty clear. This is by 7 p.m. tonight, and we're still absolutely nothing out there, and by then our front will not have moved through yet, so we're going to be down probably to the 30s by that time, but still nothing to overly be concerned about. But you can see as we go through the night, here's 10 o'clock, by 11 o'clock, and then finally by midnight we've got snow overtaking northern Indiana. But you can see this is not a very expansive snow field. This is a very fast moving system. It's not going to produce much. You can even see it's kind of mixing in with some light rain showers as it goes through here. Very quickly the cold front moves through, and this will be right along with the cold front by 1 o'clock. Here is 2 o'clock in the morning, and you can see some additional snow showers from behind that. Finally, as far as the radar goes out, is to 3 a.m. So I'm not expecting a ton of accumulation with this. There's no snow maps that I want to pull up and show you or anything. Just understand that you may have a few slick spots in the morning. As far as accumulation goes, maybe a light coating at best. Some areas may not even see that. We may just see some flurries out of this. Some areas may see some heavier pockets. If you get under one of those heavier pockets, maybe you might be just a touch more than a light coating, but everybody will be less than an inch out of this. This is pretty much a non-productive system, and I think for the most part it's just a light coating. So tomorrow morning, just expect with some bitterly cold temperatures, you could end up having some travel problems, and that's just about it, okay? Now, the good news is behind this system is we're going to have a very, besides the brutal cold, and I know that's not good news, well, the one thing about it is we don't have any major systems impacting us that we can talk about. In fact, if I just put this into motion today, you notice that high pressure takes large and in charge, and if I just come back here, we're going to have to watch down in the deep south. They could end up with a very, what potentially could be a decent sized little snowstorm out of this. The models are in sort of in disagreement as far as how much, but any amount of snow down here in this area is just that's absolutely ridiculous. It's not supposed to be this far south. But what you notice here is the first blue line, what we call the rain snow changeover line, this 540 line, look how far south this is. In fact, the 510 thickness line is over here in southern Indiana. That's indicative of absolutely brutal cold temperatures. In fact, we're probably going to go below zero this week, and with some winds whipping in there, don't be surprised if we have some wind chill advisories and maybe even some wind chill warnings issued later on this week, folks. It's going to get absolutely cold, but the good thing is we end up with some more systems move in, but they don't look very big at this point. So here's the one for Thursday. You've got a low that's moving here, and as I put it into motion, you see just some very light precipitation moving through on the day on Thursday, and so it's possible that maybe we have some off and on snow with that system, or even rain snow mix. It's uncertain and up in the air at this point, but it's not going to be anything that looks terribly impressive where I can point to it this far out in advance and say, watch this one, okay? And then as we go through the day, on Friday, the Friday stays pretty good from the way things looks, but by Friday night, you've got some more snow and some rain that's improving into the area, and it looks like we may be in that battle zone for whether it's going to stay rain or snow. Probably moves to a snow event overnight, but then it's quickly gone. And really it looks more like a Friday night and Saturday type of event than anything. And then behind that system we've got what looks like could be a fairly decently heavy rain event, and you notice that the rain-snow changeover line, look how far north it's being pushed up into here. And so what is that indicative of to us? That's indicative of a warm-up. And so this is a good thing, folks. What I want you to see out of this is, yes, we have some bitter cold temperatures that we're going to be facing this week, but beyond this, it looks like we've got the temperatures that are going to start to moderate a little bit, and that's a good thing. Now, we'll skip the Euro model. It's very similar to that. Let's go ahead and talk about temperatures real quick. And what I want you to see is that temperatures, we're talking absolutely brutal cold. By the time you wake up tomorrow morning, we're talking low teens as for this. And then as you go through the day, we're not going to warm up very much, as you can see, with temperatures only in the teens. By the time Tuesday morning's coming, we've got below zero temperatures overtaking the area again. Very low single digits around here. In fact, I'm actually forecasting below zero here. I think the model is underestimating the cold push on this. Some of the other models are taking the cold push a little bit further south. But then you can see on Wednesday that the brutal cold still continues to stick around. By Thursday, it looks like we moderate back up to above freezing during the day. That's going to be a welcome change. And then on Friday, again, we start to moderate back up to above freezing. On Saturday, hey, take a look at this again. Notice this warm surge starting to push up again. This is a good thing, okay? It's going to be nice to see this kind of a thing. Now, there's a reason for this, and again, I don't show these very often to you, but we'll take a look at our indices so that we can talk about the longer range pattern over this, all right? We have been stuck in a very cold pattern. Remember, for an ideal bitterly cold blast, what you want to have is the AO, the Arctic Oscillation, going negative. That's cold air from the North Pole being pushed south. In other words, the polar vortex comes south. That's what a negative AO does. You want the NAO to be negative because then that's a blocking system. That shuts storm systems from going out over the North Atlantic over to sea, hangs them up over us a little bit longer, and allows for additional snowfall accumulations and longer cold blasts, all right? And then you want a positive PNA. A positive PNA indicates that there's a dip in the jet stream, what we call a trough, and that takes a nosedive right over us and funnels that cold air that's available on the move to be down into our area, all right? That's kind of a classic setup for this, and that's exactly where we've been. Notice the PNA, the blue line is the analyze. In other words, this is what actually happened. The bubbles are what was predicted on these different runs. Well, take a look at what's actually happened, and we've been well positive for pretty much a long time, and that's because of this brutal cold that we've we've had. Excuse me. Take a look what is predicted, and the black dotted lines are here. What are the average of the different models and what we want to predict? Well, just take a look at this. What I want you to see is that it's going back negative again. In other words, let me pull out to my map again. Whenever we have a positive PNA, let me just illustrate this for you. A positive PNA is something like this with the jet stream, okay? Cold air, brutally cold air, can be funneled into the south. Let me change colors here and show you what a negative or neutral is going to do. And that's going to take our jet stream more zonal like this, okay? That's more what we're going to be facing, especially whenever you don't have any blocking out here in the North Atlantic Ocean. It looks like blocking's breaking down, and it looks like we're going back more into a zonal pattern. So instead of the cold air from Canada being pushed down our way, instead we're going to have Pacific air being pushed our way. That's going to moderate our temperatures a little bit. Now, does that mean that we're going to go absolutely above normal with our temperatures? No, but a return to very close to normal temperatures at least. And by the way, I looked this up really quickly for you, and that's why the pause in the video. Our normal temperature for this time of the year is actually 42 degrees. I just wanted to make sure I got that right. So you can see with our temperature today, we're a little bit above normal. That's nice for a change, but you can also see that we've been well below normal for quite a long time now. And it looks like we're going to stay below normal for a few more days, but then we can have a little bit of a return to normal. Let me show you the next few days, well, really the next 15 days according to the GFS ensembles, give you an idea of this. Okay, it did pretty well today. We actually hit 50 instead of 47 like it was predicting, but that's not a bad job for a model to be just 2 or 3 degrees off in temperature-wise. Now, it's predicting tomorrow a high of 37. That's, by the way, what we would experience at midnight tonight, according to this model, and it would be falling. So take that with a little bit of understanding. But then, notice the warming trend. We have some brutal cold air. Really, this is going to be more like a high in the teens tomorrow. Okay, I just understand that. Slow warming trend, but then we have mid to upper 30s coming to us. And by the way, I will say this, oftentimes the ensembles are a few degrees cooler in the longer range over what we usually have. It's typically the way they work out. So this is near normal temperatures. Wouldn't surprise me coming up for the first part of February with this to see temperatures closer to that 40 degrees. That's pretty normal. You get another little bit of a bout of cool down after this. So again, it's kind of an up and down pattern. But what you don't see out here and anywhere in the future, again, is just these brutal colds where we're having single-digit high temperatures and below zero temperatures again. And frankly, to me, that's absolutely welcomed. All right. SouthernIndianaWeather.com. You can get your 7-day forecast. We made it up to 50 so far today, which is what my forecast high was. Absolutely beautiful to see that. Get out and enjoy this while you still can. You still got a few hours of daylight. It's only about 3 o'clock now. Get it out and enjoy it. The winds, those southwest winds, 10 to 20 miles an hour, are really kicking that up tonight. Again, a slight chance of snow showers late tonight. Really not much of anything in accumulation-wise to be expected. We will fall down to a low of around 13 tonight. Maybe a coating of snow tomorrow morning when you get out on the roads watch for some slick spots. Tomorrow is looking bitterly cold again, a high of 16. I'm forecasting -3 here in the Huntingburg, Indiana area tomorrow night. So by the time you go a little bit more north, certainly you're going to be below zero temperatures. If you're up towards maybe the Bedford and Bloomington areas and points north, you may be 5, 6 below or more. Indianapolis area, I think, is being forecasted around 12 below on Monday night. So some very brutal and bitter cold temperatures funneling into our area. And these northwest winds, 10 to 20 miles an hour, that's really going to affect some of that brutally cold weather our way. Maybe some scattered flurries on Monday along with this system as well, as it'll be the windy. Then Tuesday will be our worst day this week by far. You wake up to a morning low of -3. We're only going to go up to a high of about 10. May not even get out of single digits in some places on Tuesday. And then we're going back to very near below zero temperatures again in our area. Notice the winds start to die down a little bit, so that's good. I would expect that you'll see some wind chill advisories likely issued for Monday and Tuesday out there. That would be my suspicion. Then we start the slower warming trend up to 24 on Wednesday, mostly sunny skies. And then finally, some 30s return on Thursday. Maybe some scattered rain or snow showers with that. It's a little bit up in the air at this point. The GFS is not taking it aggressive. I'm not predicting any accumulation at this time, just maybe some scattered things around. Then Friday, we warm up all the way to 35, partly cloudy and warmer with some south winds again. Friday night, we may see that rain or snow mix again, but then rain potentially on Saturday with a high of 42. And again, that's our normal temperature for this time of the year. So all in all, it looks like we're starting to average out a little bit. That's a good thing. Hopefully that will stick around. So that's what you can expect the next 7 days, and then really over the next, over the next 15 days, the next couple of weeks, it looks like we're returning a little bit more to more normal weather. We'll keep an eye on this extended period as to see whether this cool down continues on there or not. It's way too early at this point to say that it's going to happen with any degree of certainty, but even a cool down back into the 20s after some warmer weather is much better than what we have had with single digits. All right. Don't forget, over the coming days, you can click on Interactive Radar, by the way, and check out our brand new Interactive Radar on our website. So give that a check out. And if you're interested in sponsoring us, we've got plenty of opportunities for you. You can sponsor the Interactive Radar, and if you just click on any of our advertising buttons, you can see a little bit more information about it. You can even see the kind of response rates that we've been getting on this. So take a read through that if you're interested in doing some advertising with us. We've got some very reasonable prices. All right, folks, that's it for today. Enjoy these warm-ups while you can. We'll be here tonight to update you with anything that comes through. For Southern Indiana Weather, I'm Meteorologist Michael Wilhite. Have a great night, folks.